Hi friends, my name is Krishna. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the reviewer assessment. What do you mean by reviewer assessment? This reviewer assessment I would like to split into two parts. If the reconciliations are prepared manually in Excel sheet, what should be the process to be followed? If the reconciliations are prepared by using a reconciliation tool, whatever be the tool in the market, what should be the steps followed? Let us divide this into two parts. Let me first start with reconciliation tool. Let us say you have a tool in place, reconciliations are prepared and submitted through the tool, right? In this tool, while preparing the reconciliations, in general, you could see three options. One is preparer option. Number two, approver option. Number three, reviewer option. You could see three options. What do you mean by preparer? The one who prepares the reconciliation is called the preparer. Very simple. He prepares the reconciliation in all respects as defined in the reconciliation policy. He submits in the tool. As soon as he submits, that reconciliation goes to his next level. It can be team lead or a supervisor or whoever it may be. The communication goes to the team leader. What team lead does is, as soon as he gets the communication, he opens the reconciliation. He will go through that reconciliation in all respects. Whether the preparer performed the reconciliation as per the reconciliation policy or not. When I say as per reconciliation policy, as we discussed, whether it has been prepared as per the definition of the reconciliation, identified items have been classified or not, backup papers have been attached or not, whether reconciliation has been prepared within the timelines or not. In all respects, he has to go through that. If he satisfies that the reconciliation has been prepared in all respects and it is good to go, he can go ahead and approve it. If he thinks that the reconciliation is not prepared as per the guidelines, he has every right to reject. So, while rejecting the reconciliation, he has to give the reasons in the comments box saying that so-and-so preparer, I am rejecting this reconciliation due to so-and-so reason. Can you please look into this and rectify and resubmit the reconciliation? These are the comments you need to update and reject. The minute he rejects that reconciliation, it comes back to the preparer. Then preparer will get to see the rejection comments from the supervisor or team lead. He will go through them, he will rectify, and he will resubmit the reconciliation again. Again it goes to the team leader or a supervisor, and again he has to go through whether whatever he suggested has been performed by the preparer or not. If that is done, he can go ahead and approve it. Once it is approved, it goes to the reviewer. Who is the reviewer? The reviewer can be the team lead's manager. If he is working in Indian companies, probably his manager will be his reviewer. If you are working in a BPO industry, in general, reviewer will be customer. So it goes to the customer. Customer will go through the reconciliation again as per their reconciliation policy. If they think that it is not performed as per the guidelines specified, they also can reject the reconciliation by providing all respective reasons for the rejection. Then it will come back to the preparer. It will straight away come back to the preparer. Then preparer again will go through the comments specified by the customer. He will again rectify and resubmit. Once he resubmit the reconciliation, it goes to the approver again. It will not go directly to the reviewer. It will come back to again the TL. Again, TL has to go through the comment specified by the customer has been updated by the preparer or not. If he thinks that it has been done according to the suggestions or guidelines provided by the customer, he can approve. Then it goes to again the customer, and customer will go through that, and if he thinks that it is done appropriately, he can go ahead and submit the reconciliation. That is when that reconciliation will be completed. So what will happen? First, preparer will prepare the reconciliation and he submits. It will go to the approver. Then approver will go through that, and if he thinks that this reconciliation is perfect, he will approve. If not, he has to provide the rejection comments and rejects, and the preparer again go through those comments and resubmit. Once it is approved by the approver, it will go to the reviewer. Reviewer can be a customer, or reviewer can be the manager of this team lead or a supervisor. He will go through that same process. If there are any reasons for the rejection, they will provide the rejection reasons and reject it. If not, they can go ahead and approve. That is when the reconciliation is completed. This is how the process is being followed when the tool is in place. Clear? Right. Now let me explain, if the tool is not in place, then what is an alternative? You would be preparing the reconciliation by going through the Excel, right? So if the reconciliation is prepared in Excel, so there are two options again here. You can keep the reconciliation in the SharePoint for your team leads to review. That is one option. Or if there is no SharePoint available, you need to send that reconciliation through email to your team leader. I wanted to give in detail here. Suppose if the reconciliation is kept in SharePoint, how does your team lead get to know that this reconciliation is prepared, completed and kept in SharePoint? You need to send an email to him saying that this reconciliation I have completed, saved in the SharePoint. Can you please review and approve? That email communication is very important in terms of providing evidences as per the SOX compliance or as per the local compliance. You need to keep these evidences, because that is the evidence for the auditors to see when the reconciliation was submitted by the preparer. Then it goes to team leader. As soon as he receives the email from the preparer, he will go through that reconciliation kept in SharePoint or received through email. He will check the reconciliation in all respects. If he thinks that reconciliation is already completed, he will go ahead and approve that reconciliation by sending back the same email communication to the preparer saying that I have reviewed the reconciliation. I do not see any differences. It is good, so that I am approved. He has to mention approved and send back that email communication to the preparer. Or he can send back that communication to the reviewer, copying the preparer saying that this has been submitted by the preparer, I reviewed and it is good in all respects. I request you to review. Then that email communication goes to the reviewer. The reviewer can be a customer, the reviewer can be his manager. Then that customer or his manager will go through that reconciliation again in the SharePoint. If he thinks that reconciliation is prepared good in all respects, he has to again communicate back on the same email to the preparer and the approver saying that I have reviewed this reconciliation and this is good to go. These evidences are very, very important for audit purpose. Why I am talking about all these very simple points here is, it looks very simple for you, but you don't believe how many such complaints we receive in our day-to-day life. You don't believe these guys will prepare the reconciliation, they will keep it in SharePoint, they don't send an email. The approver would have gone through that reconciliation. He would have reviewed and he would have thought that okay, this reconciliation is completed in all respects, but he will not send communication. So how auditor will get to know that this reconciliation is prepared on so and so date, this reconciliation is approved by so and so date, this reconciliation is reviewed by the customer on so and so date? What is the evidence for you? Because you don't have tool, right? You don't have tool. This reconciliation has been performed in the Excel sheet, and it was kept in SharePoint. And what communication, what evidence you can show it to your auditors? Right? This email communication is very, very important to make sure that you are sending your reconciliation has been prepared, approved, and reviewed in different intervals by the different people, and you have an evidence, because you don't have tool. Right? So guys, please make sure that whoever is working in their respective R2R process, and if you do not have any reconciliation tool in place, please make sure that you are sending appropriate communication to the respective approvers and reviewers. Even approvers, for that matter, once approved, they need to send communication. Reviewers also, once they review, they need to send communication. This is must. You have to keep these evidences. And all these evidences, again, can be kept in respective folders in SharePoint. You can create respective folders as we discussed in the previous video. Create respective folders and keep all these email evidences in that folder. Or there is another option. You can attach this email communication or confirmation received from the approver and reviewer to the Excel sheet. You can embed that. So tomorrow, if auditor is asking for the evidence, when this has been approved, when this has been reviewed by the people, you have the email communication already embedded in the Excel sheet. You can show them that as an evidence. The last aspect, important aspect, once everything is completed, that reconciliation which is prepared in the Excel sheet has to be locked, password protected. You know why it is important? If that is not password protected, maybe after 10 days, if somebody goes to that Excel sheet and modifies that reconciliation, you will die. It is very difficult for you to prove that I prepared very well, correctly, but somebody went and modified it. How do you know that you did not modify? How do you prove yourself that you are not the one modified that reconciliation? Very difficult, right? So once the approver and reviewer is completing the reconciliation, it is always better to lock that reconciliation with password so that nobody can go and modify that reconciliation after completing approval mechanism. This is very, very important, guys, because these reconciliations are being reviewed by the auditors, and any modifications post approval will lead to compliance issues. Please don't get into those kind of issues. So make sure that your reconciliations are being protected with password. So that's all for today. Again, please, if you like the content, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and share these videos with your friends and colleagues. It will definitely an encouragement for me, and definitely it will be useful for others as well. All right? Thank you so much.